Welcome to Vidya's Kitchen, and thank you all for joining us today and wishing everyone a very happy festive season. As part of our New Year's Cookery Show special, we have the ever so lovely and talented Radha with us today, who's going to be making cocktails and mocktails. A little bit about Radha. She's a law graduate, currently studying for a master's degree in business law and management whilst completing her legal practice course. She has started to showcase her interest in Indian food on a newly created website, which can be found at www.thespicyflexitarian.com, which encompasses all that's delicious and wholesome about vegan and vegetarian food. Now, I've been on that website and I think it's brilliant. It's just really great. And I thoroughly recommend a visit there. All the recipes for her cooking have been passed down to her from her grandmother and her mother and showcase her dual British and Indian heritage. She's been a vegetarian for most of her 22 years and has tried to adapt and develop dishes that incorporate a plant-based element using herbs and spices to enhance the natural goodness and flavor. Thank you for joining us, Radha. I'm just going to bring you on the screen. Yes, there you are.
Hi everyone, hi Vidya. I hope you all
Lovely to have you with us today.
Thank you. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. So this evening I'm going to be showing you how to make a few of my favourite cocktails and mocktails. Now, all of the cocktails and mocktails I've chosen can be adapted to alcoholic or non-alcoholic and sweetness or intensity of flavour. So the measurements I've chosen are a good medium and a good mix of everything. But if you are making along at home and you don't fancy putting that, too much of that in, or you want to put a little bit more of that in, then feel free to do so. The important thing to remember about making cocktails is there is no right or wrong way to do it. Everyone has different tastes, and as long as it tastes nice to you, then that's all that matters. So I must mention that I'm not an expert in mixing, but I've just found a way around everything, and that's what the way that I like to do it. So if you are making along at home, then what you are going to need is a cocktail mixer, or you can use a jam jar or a water bottle or something to mix it in. You're going to need a strainer, or a tea strainer is absolutely fine. Some measurements or some electric scales, and also a spoon. And then we will be making a daiquiri, so you'll also need a blender or a food processor as well. So what you're in for this evening are 5 cocktails and mocktails. I'm going to make a elderflower, blueberry and lime virgin mojito. I'm also going to be making an espresso martini. I'm going to be making a mango mule mocktail, a frozen very, very daiquiri, and also a whiskey sour. So the first cocktail is the elderflower and blueberry mojito.
We've got a few cameras, so don't get confused. We've got different. Yeah. I've just come on gallery view because I want to show the viewers the drink I've got. So I've made this as a prelude. I looked at the recipe and I made it, and I've shaken it. I don't know if I've done it well, but I've done it the right way, but I've done it anyways. I just wanted to ask before we begin, so when did you start cooking then? You're very young.
So I actually started cooking properly during the lockdown, because I moved back home from university, and my mum's working from home, my dad's working from home. So I just thought it was a great experience to try out different things and obviously have them to help me. So I've been cooking properly for about 5 years, but I've obviously been adapting that throughout the lockdown.
Okay, perfect. That's brilliant. And when did you start the website then?
The website, I think I started it around a year ago. Not much really happened at the start, just because I was still doing my studies and I was doing exams. But the website was started a year ago, but a lot of new content is now being put on it, and obviously a lot more will be put on it now in the new year too.
Absolutely. Now you said that you don't have any bar experience, but you're making this. So, do you enjoy making cocktails? How did you get into it?
It was more of a thing of lockdown. You know, it was just something how, you know, mum and dad and me were all sort of having a night in and we were watching a film and we just wanted something special. So I thought, let's go on the website, see what cocktails there are to make. And all of this equipment, simply got it from Amazon. It wasn't expensive at all. And I've just sort of developed and kept practicing until I found something that tastes and looks quite nice. So it was more of just like we wanted something special and something to spice up the evening, really.
I think that's brilliant.
That's how we started it.
This drink is brilliant.
And I think that's the first drink we're making, isn't it? That's the blueberry and elderflower
making. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. And before you begin, I'm going to let you get on. So don't forget, whoever's watching, you have the opportunity to give us some stars to help us, because we need some video equipment for these live shows, and your stars will really help us out. So do help us with the stars, and Radha will also remind you during the show. And if anyone's making the drinks with us, then I suggest you post photographs of those drinks in the comments, and we'd really love to see what you've done. So I'm going to let Radha get on with it. She's got 5 cocktails to make, and I'm really excited. I'm not going to interrupt you now. I'm not going to come on the screen. I'm just going to let you have the screen, and there you go.
Perfect. Thank you, Pia. Thank you. So, like I said, the first drink we're going to make is an elderflower and blueberry virgin mojito. Now, this drink is non-alcoholic. It contains no alcohol in it at all. But if you did want to make an alcoholic version to this drink, you could simply add a clear spirit. So you could add vodka, white rum, or even gin. So depending on your taste, if you want to add any of those alcohols, 45 millilitres, or even simply keep it non-alcoholic. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ice this glass. So we're going to put plenty of ice in the glass. So we want 6 to 7 cubes of ice, and then we're going to get our shaker. So if you don't have a shaker like I do, like I said, you can simply use a jam jar or a water bottle or anything you can sort of make it in, essentially. And now in our shaker, we're going to put some elderflower cordial or elderflower syrup. We're also going to put in we're going to put in some sugar syrup. Now, sugar syrup is simply 1 part water to 1 part sugar. And then what you need to do is you need to boil that until it gets a sticky consistency and let it cool. So this is one that I've made earlier on today, and it can last in the fridge for about 4 weeks if you seal it correctly. So we're going to add elderflower cordial, sugar syrup, lime juice. Again, if you don't have fresh lime juice, then you can just use lime juice concentrate. That's absolutely fine as well. Some blueberries, frozen or fresh, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, I know through the lockdown it's been quite difficult to get fresh fruit. So if you've got frozen blueberries, you can use them as well. And then we're going to top it off with sort of sparkling water. Now, if you're like me and you've got a sweet tooth, you can always top it up with lemonade if you want that sweet drink. So we're going to add all of these ingredients into our water. So we're going to get our measurer, and we're going to start off by putting in 30 millilitres of elderflower cordial. And then you will want to put in 15 millilitres of sugar syrup. And then 30 millilitres of lime juice. And then we're going to add in the berries. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to give this a quick stir just to incorporate all of those ingredients together. If you want to shake it, you can shake it as well, that's not a problem, but I'm just going to stir this for now. And then we're going to simply pour all of this into the glass. So berries included. And then you're just going to top it off with some sparkling water. And then to garnish, we're going to take some limes, just put them in, and then just a little bit of mint. And that's our first drink. So that is the elderflower, blueberry and lime mojito. Like I said, if you wanted to add alcohol, that's absolutely fine. You can add alcohol as well. But that's the first drink made. So I hope if you are making it from home, please do take a picture and comment down below, because I would love to see what your take is and how you've made it. And also as well, down below, comment your favourite cocktail, because then what I could do is I could come back on another episode and maybe make your favourite cocktails, because these are my favourite cocktails. So do comment down below your favourite cocktails, and also comment a photo of the cocktails that you're making at home. So moving on to the next one, that's the first one done. I'm just going to give everything a quick wash, because we don't want a mixture of flavours going into our other drink, so bear with me one moment. So the next drink I'm going to make is one of my favourites, and that is the espresso martini. Now, the espresso martini is a coffee-based drink, so for me it's perfect because it wakes me up. So we're going to make this in a very fancy glass, so we're going to make it in this. If you don't have fancy glasses at home, that's absolutely fine. This is just because it looks pretty, essentially. So if you've not got these glasses, then don't be put off by making them. You can always make it in a simple tumbler or a highball or any glass that you have at home. But I'm going to make it in this one just because it looks pretty. So for this drink, we are going to need, let me just clear my station. So this is an alcoholic drink. So we're going to need vodka, we're going to need Kahlua, which is a coffee liqueur, and we're also going to need our espresso coffee, which has been freshly made and cooled. Now, if you've not had time to cool it, again, that's absolutely fine. You can put it in hot, but I just prefer it cooled. And again, we're using sugar syrup just for that extra sweetness. So what we're going to do, because we're shaking this one, we want to ice our shaker. So we're going to put plenty of ice into the shaker. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add 45 millilitres of vodka into the shaker. $20 millilitres of the coffee liqueur. $30 millilitres of the freshly made and cooled espresso. And then again, I've lost my measurer. Where's my, found it. We're going to put 15 millilitres of sugar syrup. So now we're going to give this a good shake. Now, there's no right or wrong way to shake a cocktail. Like I said, I'm not an expert. The only advice I have is hold on to the top tight, otherwise it will be going all over the walls, and I don't think my mum will be too happy if that happens. So we're going to give this a good shake. Now, the longer you shake it, the frothier and foamier top that you'll get, and hopefully if I shake it correctly and for long enough, you will see that frothy top. So just bear that in mind. So we're going to shake for about 30 seconds, a little bit longer if you want an extra foamy top. So. Okay, so now we're going to strain it into the glass. Just going to use our strainer. And then for garnish, 3 coffee beans on top. And that's our espresso martini. Just going to move that over to the side. Now, it is worth mentioning, like any coffees, any morning coffees you get from Starbucks or Costa, you can obviously have variations of that. You can have caramel coffee, you can have hazelnut coffee. So a variation of the espresso martini is to simply add in caramel syrup or caramel vodka, and there you've got your caramel espresso martini. Or you could add in hazelnut syrup and hazelnut coffee liqueur, which you can buy from the shop, and there you've got your variation of a hazelnut espresso martini. So if you like that, then obviously you can do that, but I've just made a simple espresso martini. So I'm just going to play my station, and then we'll move on to the next one. So have we got any comments coming through video or?
First of all, I need to unmute myself. You can't hear me. Okay, so we've got a hazelnut one would be amazing. Looks incredible. Sounds delicious. I bet it's nice and refreshing. It was for the first one. Yeah, that's about it. I can't see many comments. Everyone's awed by this thing watching. So.
Well, like I said, if you are making from home, please do take a picture and put it in the comments below, because I'd really like to see everyone making them, really.
When you're making it along, do post your photos. We do want to watch. Awesome.
Yeah. So the next drink we're going to make is a mango mule mocktail. Now, again, this is a mocktail. It's not got any alcohol in, but if you wanted to add alcohol, you can add mango vodka, mango flavoured vodka. That's really, really nice. Or again, simple vodka, absolutely fine as well. But I'm going to simply make a mocktail. Now, this is my take of a mango lassi, essentially. It doesn't contain any dairy or any yogurt, but it is a mango lassi, sort of modernised and made a little
mango
bit special.
lassi variant. It's a variant to the north.
Yes, exactly. So what we're going to need is we're going to need 1 mango, which has been made into a pulp. Now, you don't have to stand there and hand blend the mango. You can simply use mango puree or mango pulp that comes in a tin. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in the mango puree into the shaker. Now, the more mango puree you do add into your shaker, the thicker the drink will be and more mango flavour it will have. Now, the measurements I've recommended is 60 millilitres. So you can follow that recipe if you want. However, I do like mango and I like my drink quite sweet. So I'm going to add in a little bit more, but feel free to simply stick to the 60 millilitres if that's what you want to go for. So, like I said, in our shaker, we've got the mango pulp. We're going to add in some sugar syrup. We're going to add in 10 millilitres of sugar syrup just because mango is quite a sweet fruit. So we don't want it to be too sweet and overpowering. So only 10 millilitres of sugar syrup. And then we're going to add in some ginger ale. So we're going to add in 30 millilitres of ginger ale. I'm hoping it's not going to splash all over me. There we go. And then 30 millilitres of lime juice as well. Now, the most important thing to remember with this drink is that you do not shake it. If you shake it, I will guarantee there will be mess everywhere. because it's using ginger ale, because it's a fizzy drink, if you shake it, it will explode and fizz everywhere. So we are going to definitely stir this drink if you want to make a mess in your kitchen, go ahead and shake it, but we're going to stir it. So once that's stirred, get your glass and again fill it with plenty of ice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pour the mixture into the glass. And then to garnish, we are going to put a sprig of mint and a lime. And there is our mango mule. There we go. Just quickly wash up. So the next drink we're going to make is a virgin frozen berry daiquiri. Now, this is quite a noisy drink, only because we're using the blender. Now, if you don't have a blender, a food processor or a hand blender, a lot of people have got NutriBullets now, so that would work perfectly. And again, we're making this one non-alcoholic, but if you did want to make it alcoholic, you could add 60 millilitres of white rum. So that's white rum. So if you wanted to make it alcoholic, 60 millilitres of white rum. Again, 60 if that's too alcoholic for you, 50 or 45, it doesn't really matter depending on your taste. But this one we're making non-alcoholic. So what I've done is here I have got some blended down berries. Now I've pre-blended these down and I've sieved out the seeds just because it gives a smooth consistency. If you want the seeds in the drink, you can miss this step and simply just put the fruit straight into the blender with everything else and make the drink. But I just find it easier to drink once the seeds are taken out. Now, I've done a mixture of berries just because the colour is a lot more intense. If you don't like blackberries or you don't like blueberries or red currants, you can simply just use strawberries or you can just use raspberries or you can do what I've done and just do a mixture of everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this drink simply straight into the blender. So I'm going to move over to the blender. Hopefully you'll still be able to see me and I'll tell you what's going in and then we'll put the blender on and make the drink. So So in the blender, what we're going to do is we are going to put in, just looking at my notes because I can't remember all of these cocktails from my head. So we're going to simply put in the mixed berries. Now 130 grams of mixed berries, or you can add in more if you want a little bit more of a berry taste. So that goes straight into the blender. And then we're going to add in 15 millilitres of lime juice. $15 millilitres of sugar syrup. $60 millilitres of ginger ale. Now, like I said, if you wanted to make it alcoholic, you simply substitute out the ginger ale for the white rum. So don't add any ginger ale if you are making it alcoholic, just simply add 60 millilitres of white rum instead. But we are making it non-alcoholic, so we're going to add the ginger ale. So that's 60 millilitres. And then we're going to add some ice to the blender as well. Just because it's a frozen daiquiri, we want it to be frozen, so we're just going to add some ice. That's my mum's phone, if everyone can hear that, so turn it on, Simon, thank you very much. So what we're going to do now is we're going to blend it. Now, this is very, very noisy, so if you want to turn your volume down for about 20 seconds, please do so, otherwise it might deafen you a little bit. So we're going to blend all of that down, and then we will pour that straight into the glass. Now, depending on how icy you want it, you can add in more ice. I'm going to add in a little bit more ice just because it's still quite runny for my liking. I want it to be quite slushy in texture. So I'm just going to add in a few more ice cubes, and then I'm just going to blend that again. Okay, so that's blended. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in a glass. Like I said, this again is quite a fancy glass. If you don't have a glass like this, then you can simply just pour it into any glass that you've got. So this is
right. Question: are we
yes.
using frozen berries or fresh berries?
Now, you can use frozen berries or fresh berries. It doesn't matter. Now, I've used frozen only because I've found with frozen berries, the colour retains, the colour stays there when the daiquiri is poured. But if you don't have frozen berries, then you can simply just use fresh berries. It doesn't, really matter. If you are using frozen berries, then you won't need to add as much ice in because the berries are already frozen, so they already add that element of slushiness essentially to the drink. But frozen berries or fresh berries, it doesn't really matter. I've used frozen berries, like I said, but I've let them soften and defrost a little bit just so it's easier to blend. But yeah, frozen berries or fresh berries, it doesn't really matter, whatever you've got essentially.
Right. Can I get someone to unmute the close-up camera, please? I've tried, it was me ringing your mom actually. Can I get someone to unmute the close-up camera? Because it was me ringing your mom to ask her to unmute the close-up camera.
Is that better? Is that muted now?
It is muted, so it needs to be unmuted so I can bring it into view.
Right, I see. Okay. Is that being done for you, video? Is that
Not being done yet? Someone needs to unmute it. So I've asked for it to be unmuted. The close-up camera needs to be unmuted. Yes.
Yes, brilliant. Okay, is that sorted?
No, the table camera has been unmuted. I want the close-up camera to be unmuted.
This one?
Yes, that one.
I will do that myself. There we go. Is that better?
Oh. Yes, it is, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Oh, no. So, it's the closed camera still unmuted. I don't know why that is.
Is it this camera I'm pointing at?
Yes, that's
right. If I unmute that camera, we're going to get lots of feedback.
All right, then it won't
be all right
on view. So maybe in between we'll just unmute it when we need.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So this is the frozen berry daiquiri. So what we're going to do is we are going to garnish with a lime and a strawberry. So. And then we've got the frozen berry daiquiri. So I hope everyone enjoys that.
To recap that once.
Yes,
there's a little bit of a disturbance during that. So
no, of course. So you're going to want to, if you want the seeds, if you want it a smooth drink, you want to pre-blend your berries, and then you just want to sieve out all of the seeds. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add your berry pulp straight into the blender. In the blender, there's also going to go sugar syrup, there's going to go lime juice, there's going to go some ginger ale. Again, if you wanted to make it alcoholic, skip the ginger ale and just simply add the alcohol you want to use. And then blend all of that, adding some ice depending on how slushy you want it, and then just simply pour it from your blender, garnish with a lime and a strawberry. Now, Vidya mentioned earlier on about stars. Now, what you can do is you can gift and donate stars to Vidya's Kitchen. And then what Vidya can then do is she can then use those stars to improve video and sound quality for her future videos and any future content that goes onto Vidya's Kitchen. Now, to simply give a star, you just go down to the comments below, and there is a star icon, and you can just click that, and obviously then you can add and donate stars. And I'm sure that video would be extremely appreciative of those stars being gifted to her. So we are going to move on to the fifth and final drink. Now, I saved this one to last because it is my dad's favourite drink, and I know that if I made it sooner on, the drink would have been gone, and there would have been no drink to view in the display camera. So this drink I'm making last, but I also find it quite a difficult drink just because there's quite a few steps to it. But we'll go through it slowly, and hopefully we'll get a product that looks quite nice. So this drink is whiskey sour. Now, I'm obviously presenting it in a crystal glass just because that's the traditional glass to serve it in. But like I said, you don't have to serve it in fancy glasses like these. You can just serve it in any glass that you want. So what we're going to do is in this drink, we're going to add whiskey, any whiskey you want, rye, bourbon, there tends what I like to go towards. But again, if you've not got rye or bourbon and you've just got other whiskey, then you can obviously add that as well. So we're going to add some whiskey, and then Angustus bitters. You can add that. I've got mine in a diffuser, so I'm just going to simply spray that on top at the end of the drink. But if you don't have a diffuser like I do, just simply add 2 or 3 dashes of your Angustus bitters into the drink. So let's get making. So in our shaker, we are going to add 60 millilitres of whiskey. we're then going to add 30 millilitres of lemon juice. $15 millilitres of sugar syrup. Now this is where you'd add your Angustus bitters, 2 dashes. Like I said, I'm just going to simply spray mine on top, so I'm not going to add it to my shaker. And then we're going to want 15 millilitres of orange juice. Now, with this drink, it does contain egg white. Now, you want to add 15 millilitres of egg white into your shaker. If you are vegan or you don't want to use egg white simply because you're a bit hesitant of putting raw egg in your drink, you can always use aquafarb. Now, aquafarb, it's the water from a can of chickpeas. So just simply add 15 millilitres of that water from chickpeas and that will give you the same effect. All it does is it makes the drink very silky and it gives it a nice frothy, foamy top. So we're going to add 15 millilitres of egg white. If you don't want to use aquafarb or egg white, you can always use pasteurised egg. Again, it's up to you, it's your choice. But I'm just going to simply use 15 millilitres of egg white. So putting that in there. And then what we're going to do is we are going to give this a shake. Now, we are dry shaking this first. What dry shaking means is it means without ice. Because we want to emulsify the egg, we're going to dry shake it, which means no ice. Now, again, because we're dry shaking it, there's no ice in there, so there's going to be no seal. So you need to really, really hold on tight to the top of your shaker. Otherwise, it will simply just fly off and you've got all of your mixture all over yourself and the kitchen. So really, really hold on to that lid very, very tightly. And then we're just going to give it a shake. So once you've given that a shake for about 15-20 seconds, we're then going to add ice and we're going to reshake it again. So we're now going to add the ice. And then we're going to give that another shake. Okay, so once that's all shaken, we're then going to fill our glass with ice. Again, lots of ice in this drink. And then we are going to strain it into our glass. Then, like I said, simply just going to spray 2 or 3 squirts of Angustus bitters. And then to garnish, cherries and an orange peel. And that's the whiskey sour. Now, if you don't like whiskey, I'm a little bit on the fence with whiskey still. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. If you don't like whiskey, but you like the sound of that drink, you can always make an amaretto sour. It's exactly the same, but just use amaretto instead of the whiskey. However, it might be worth adding just a little dash of whiskey just because it brings out the flavour of the amaretto. So it's not too overpowering of whiskey, it's very, very sweet, but it's still obviously a take of a whiskey sour. So that's the whiskey sour. Just move that into the next room. And that is all 5 of the cocktails. So hopefully you will be able to see them in the dining room on the presentation table. And that's all of them.
I need the camera on that, the audio on that camera to be turned on.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that now.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, so you've got your elderflower, blueberry and lime virgin mojito, you've got your espresso martini, you've got a mango mule mocktail, a very, very virgin daiquiri, and then finally your whiskey sour. So if you have any along at home, please do take a picture and put your comments down below because I'd love to gauge your take on them.
The other room and point out and.
Yeah, of course, I'll do that now. So bear with me a moment. Yeah, so here we go. We've got our virgin berry and elderflower mojito. Oh, bear with me 1 moment. Oh, there we go. So we've got our virgin elderflower and blueberry mojito. We have our espresso martini. We have our mango mule mocktail, our very, very virgin daiquiri, and again, whiskey sour to end. Oh, I can't seem to hear you, Vidya.
I can't see your face, Radha.
Oh, is that better?
Ah, that's better.
There we go.
Do it again then.
Yes.
Third
time lucky. So our elderflower, blueberry and lime virgin mojito, our espresso martini, our mango mule mocktail, our very, very virgin daiquiri, and then whiskey sour on the end.
Thank you very much. That's brilliant. I'm going to go back into gallery view. Thank you very much. I'm sure we haven't had any images of anybody with their drinks. I finished mine, but there you go. I made it, but I finished it. I made the elderflower and blueberry one, and it was really simply superb, the mojito.
Well, like I said, if you even just simply comment your favourite drink down below, then I could maybe make your favourite drink for you on another session perhaps. And even then, if it's a drink that I've not tried, I can maybe try it at home and see if I enjoy it as well.
Exactly. And we're going to have Radha coming back tomorrow to make veg canopies. And then she's also coming back once a month for the next 3 months to make some lovely dishes for us. So that's brilliant. So, and with regards to the comments, let's see. What have we got? We've got lots of ideas. Love a daiquiri. You're not helping my alcoholic tendencies, but loving this so far. Okay, and Chris, you've sent us 250 stars. Thank you so very much. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, Dad's doing thumbs up right now, so.
Thank you. And Rahul Kaushal, is that your brother? Rahul?
That's my brother. My brother's in Czech Republic. He's studying medicine, so he's watching.
He said, can you send me one in a Ziploc bag? It looks amazing.
I will try. I'll do my best.
Glad you made a non-alcoholic drink. Avril Hall says that. And yeah, that's brilliant. That's it. I like, let me see, someone's, Yasmin Harrison. I like the variety of having mocktails and cocktails. Thank you.
No, like I said, all of these drinks that I've made, I've picked them simply because you can either add alcohol or simply not add alcohol. So it really does depend on your taste and how you're feeling. So that's good.
Yes, it's brilliant. And the whiskey sour, your mom was saying it's a recipe from the Savoy, isn't it?
Yes. So the first time my dad had a whiskey sour was from the Savoy. We went there for my 18th birthday, so quite a few years ago now. And ever since, my dad's been wanting to make a whiskey sour from home, and he's only really managed to get the perfect whiskey sour this year. So he's very, very happy. That is his favourite drink. So I'm sure that'll be gone once this video ends. But yeah.
Okay, in that case, we'll end the video and we'll let your dad get on with it. So we'll see you again tomorrow, same time,
Yes.
6 o'clock. Please tune
Yeah.
in. Enormous interest in that show. We've had over 500 people express interest in watching that show, which is brilliant. So tomorrow, same time, 6 o'clock, tune in again to watch Radha make some lovely canopies. Today's show was brilliant, Radha. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much for having me, Vidya. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.